Welcome back to the Lobster Roll. I'm Rippy Longstocking. Sorry, Grant.
Oh, I am the CAC. No, I'm excited jumping up and down here, Rippy.
It has been a very full day of Derby, and we have one game left to go. I'm pretty excited about this one.
Absolutely. And also a shout out to our awesome producer, Rosetta Stone, by my side.
Woo. She'll keep us on track. Maybe.
Or she'll start hurling things at us. I'm excited, Rippy.
Yes.
It's the first ever Lobster Roll presented by Boston Roller Derby. And we are the first official on Twitch TV tournament of 2019.
We are
live.
I'd like to thank the Derby Apex for helping us bring this to you. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and bookmark thederbyapex.com.
Also a shout out to New England Roller Derby Report. Would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. And I'm talking about SEWCIOPATH. Making all the awesome derby clothes. You can check out sociopath.ca.
So right now you're gonna be watching Boston Roller Derby taking on Dublin Roller Derby. Both teams coming off a win today. Both teams have played before. Both won.
Yep. And both so ranked closely. We got Boston coming in number 35, Dublin number 38. Both made it to their respective playoffs in 2018, where Boston came up first in the North American East Continental Cup. Then you had Dublin coming in and had a narrow third at the European Continental Cup. There was such amazing action by both teams. But it's 2019, and the road begins here towards the playoffs at the end of the year.
So exciting. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of great defense played out there. We've seen a lot of great defense played so far today. And I think we're going to run down some rosters.
Yeah, absolutely. First, a shout out to our awesome officials that came down here. Let's start with the NSOs, including Surly Temple for this bout coming up. Gluten Freedom, Pussy Panzerfaust, Queen Victoria, Julius Caesar, Ziggy Stardust, Riff Ref, Diary Hair, and Marilyn Manson.
Let's see also Integel, Strong Female Character, Razor, Reverend Riot, Ridiculous, Recordian, Wicked Pizza, and Decrypt a Keeper.
Crowd getting warmed up here. From what I've heard, it was actually a sellout.
I heard the same.
Oh my goodness, everyone is pumped here, ready to go.
The bleachers are full here.
A lot of them are coming down right along the boards because they want to get very up close in the action.
Of course.
And those boards come straight to the crash zone, so some of those guys are going to come flying at them.
I know.
We've seen it happen a few times today.
Those might be a few folks. They're really here for the roller derby, not for me. But I love you. Thank you. And I'm here with my good friend.
Taking a quick look around, we are live here at the Aleppo Shriners Auditorium, Wilmington, Massachusetts, here in Greater Boston.
We do appreciate the Shriners allowing us to take over this building today.
Yeah, we've had live bands, we've had dancing troops here. In the far back, in the upper right corner of the screen, you'll see the stage that has a giant camel on it. We're still playing hashtag Name the Camel. Give it the most punniest roller derby name possible. You can join us also on the chat. We'll be following along as well. Seeing any shout outs, any questions you have, we're going to answer them as best as we can here.
The hashtag you want to use is hashtag BRD, as in dog, Lobstah. Remember, that's Lobstah, LOBSTAH, roll. Use that hashtag to get us.
Oh my goodness, already names of the camel. Camelback block, Desert Destruction 16-wheeler. We are off to the races with this one. I love it.
Maybe Rosetta will write all those down. Maybe. Maybe she will. Please. Pretty please.
Putting the producer to work.
Pretty please.
Soon we're going to be doing our rosters as we do rollouts for both these teams here. You're going to be seeing Dublin in the white with blue trim, and you're going to be seeing Boston with the navy blue with a little bit of that Star Spangled Banner red, white, and blue flag on the front.
So yeah, the white and blue teams. So we'll wait for them to do their rollouts before we announce them as well.
Eventbrite.com. All tickets are $10.
Also, I need to give another personal shout out to Team Houston that was here. Anyone doesn't know that backstory, their flight got delayed. Now, remember, they're already going ahead in time about an hour going to the East Coast, and their flight got delayed. They didn't get in until 2:30 this morning, played the first game, then played the third game, and they're still going to lose an hour of sleep tonight, but they'll be back for more action, Rippy. They're going to be here tomorrow.
I'm telling you, that spring forward clock thing really messes me up.
You think spring ahead sounds like a positive thing?
It does not when you're talking about time. You just sucked out an hour of my life.
But that's why I also like arenas like this where you have no windows, because time is non-existent. All we care about is the time on the clock as we're winding down. Meanwhile, to the outside world, it's 7 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time, midnight over in Dublin, and if you're on the Pacific, a nice 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
I will say,
4 p.m.
Dublin did get here a couple of days ago, or at least one day ago, so they are a little bit rested.
And we're going to get to it now. Rippy.
So I will go with Dublin first. That's 1, 2, 3, Maria Von Slap. Number 16, Gemerald. Number 169, Brudal E. Locock. Number 17, Dirty Knees Louise. Number 23, Greenhall Cooney. Number 3, Voldemort. Number 47, of course, that's AK. Number 490, Malibu Stacy. Number 575, Pippa. Number 74, Staba. Number 8, Chancleta. Number 800, Thea. 83, Dashing Trudy Snow. Number 90, Lana Payne. And 95, Maniha. And I don't know if you can hear through the mic as well as I can, but that is the Dublin A team.
I saw some of the coaches earlier. Violent Bob is here with Kitty, Ellie, and Nasher. Violent Bob is pumped. He is so focused. He just did stare through like everybody in the back. But let's introduce Boston Roller Derby.
2019 Boston Massacre.
And representing the Boston Massacre, number 11, Casey McLean. Number 120, Electrocute. Number 121, Agent Mulder. Number 1845, Little Pain. Number 2, MC Slammer. Number 2089, Smallpox. Number 21, Emily Nolan. Number 211, Lock Test Monster. Number 43, Catlin Monahan. Number 451, Rage Bradbury. Number 5, Sweet Enemy. Number 517, Tiger Eye. Number 749, Wednesday Adams. Number 8, Audrey Planets. Number 90, Little Something. And number 93, Crumb. That is your Boston Massacre.
2089 Smallpox.
Jack, as you mentioned earlier, this is the first of the WFTDA recognized tournaments. We have, of course, this is this weekend, hosted by Boston Roller Derby. Then they have the Clover Cup coming up on March 22nd to the 24th. That's hosted by the Dallas Derby Devils. The Dust Devil, March 29th through the 31st, and that's hosted by Tucson Roller Derby. And we don't want to forget our friends across the pond, April 12th to 14th. That's hosted by Rainy City Roller Derby. That's in Bury, England.
517 Tiger Eye.
As you can maybe hear, the house is very crowded.
749 Wednesday Adams.
It's going to be a ruckus crowd.
It will be a loud one.
Yeah. Sold out tournament here, and this is the first ever lobster roll. So already they're rolling big. They're rolling crazy here.
The bar has been set high.
93 Rum. Let's hear it one more time for your 2019 Boston Massacre.
And just think how crazy it is tonight. We still have another day to go where we kick things up again tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Naptown versus Boston.
Then Dublin plays at noon against Sacramento.
Yep, that is it.
Houston versus Boston again at 2. Naptown versus Dublin at 4. Then Houston versus Sacramento at 6 to close out the tournament.
This is going to be absolutely intense here. Once again, both these teams coming in with a win today.
And I am so glad to have everyone here to be able to witness it.
And we're going to kick things off our very first shift. It's going to be Casey McLean going skate to skate against dashing Trudy Snow, who apparently has a video online of her actually dashing through the snow of New England while they were here.
Well, that seems appropriate. So our teams are out, and it looks like Casey McLean is out, picks up lead before turn number 2.
Trudy getting locked right into turn number 1, and that's going to be a star pass. And that is now officially number 169, Brutal E. Lowcock.
Forcing the call off there, but we'll have to watch the jam refs.
Yep, and they're calling out 3 points to Boston. A nice little cross-off. They didn't get the full 4 on that one. A quick play to see a star pass that fast off on that first jam.
But she saw she wasn't going to get out, and she just immediately passed the star.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not about scoring the points, it's about shutting down another team, making them force that call. And right now we got Lobstah Monster going against Thea.
As I said, the defense here is really showing up, hanging on to Thea. That's Lobstah Monster out as lead jammer for Boston.
Defense between Sweet Enemy and Emily Nolan, able to keep Thea only for a few seconds.
Thea trying to keep the pressure on Lobstah.
And a little bit of collision. That pack was moving very fast down the straightaway. Boston going to pick up another 3 points. Dublin keeping the heat on, preventing them from getting a full 4. 2 jams in a row.
All right, setting things up.
It's Greenhall Cooney on the jam line, facing off against Rage Bradbury.
Locking in so far still. Full house on the flat track, 5-on-5, and through that pack is Rage Bradbury.
Oh, no, Rage picking up a cut track. We'll head to the penalty box. Lead jammer still open. No.
Greenhall also got a track cut. Double track cut and a do-si-do. That's going to release Rage Bradbury. In all 2 minutes we go.
But both jammers will only serve a few seconds in the box and come back out. So this will just be a race to see how many points we can put on the board.
You are correct, sir.
Both jammers, I'm sorry, on their initial pass.
No, it's very exciting here. And already knocked out, bounce recycling. Back is Rage Bradbury. Pack is still locked over right at the pivot line. And Greenhall Cooney tries to slide through the center, goes out a little bit, returns back in. Both these jammers going side to side, trying to find that opening. But Rage Bradbury, great track awareness, goes out, avoided that track cut behind Pippa, recycling right back into that pack.
I told you the defense was going to be something to watch for this game. Both teams have put their strong defenders out on the pack. They really know how to close down the seams. They just appear out of nowhere in the lane. Keep the jammers. Hold on. You can see our pack not moving very far.
They're winding it down. About 23 seconds left in the jam clock here. And now we're getting a multiplayer block call that is going to be assigned to Dublin. They're going to be down a blocker here. And now Greenhall Cooney, look at that, coming in and picking up a full 4.
Just Rage also out of the pack for 4. It's
Greenhall tried to jump that apex, landing in the infield, and that's going to be it. Not picking up any points there. But also to our fans out there, I know they're looking around and you're not seeing many of the teams nor the penalty box. We got the teams here. Dublin is over here on turn number 4. Boston on turn number 3. And the penalty box right in the center is at that apex.
So it looks like Caitlin Monahan wearing the star for Boston. Nope.
No, that's Small Fox hiding there.
I'm sorry, I cannot see anything from where I'm sitting.
We have the awesome team of Dublin standing up.
I know. They're excited.
They're very eagerly excited.
And they're watching the game, and that is what they're doing.
And it looks like we got a forearm call, and that is going to go on Gemeralda. So now we have a power jam Boston. Pack now coming into that straightaway. Gemeralda, I'm sorry. Small Fox coming in, locking up. Dublin trying to reform that pack around her, but Boston's just chopping away at it, separating everyone individually from Dublin.
They managed to drive her into the infield. I told you this defense is just wicked on both sides.
Dublin.
Nice little drive by Caitlin Monahan. 4 points picked up by Boston.
Meanwhile, Gemeralda finally pushing the entire pack of Boston through Team 4. They're going to have to let her go, but this is just her scoring pass she's starting to work on now.
And then eventually have to release Gemerald. We'll see at any points like that. No, that was 0. So
I would just like to call attention to how slowly that pack moves around the track. The defense just hangs on, and the jammers are really having to work hard. Do not skip your leg day, is what I'm saying.
Never skip leg day. They do the exercise for me. I watch them, and I feel the hurt the next day.
I know, right?
Who do we got up there, Ricky?
Casey McLean and Dashing Trudy Snow. And it looks like...
Casey McLean coming in, picking up another lead jam.
As Maria Von Slab headed to the penalty box for Dublin. Brings them down 1 blocker. Boston hanging on to Dashing Trudy Snow, but they have to let her go.
Beautiful work there by Dublin, forcing a recycle back by Casey McLean, who's just going to call that one off as Trudy was starting to catch up.
Took it down to right at 23 minutes left in the first half. 2 points for Boston, 0 for Dublin.
Boston Scrap Cookie Company, elevating classics and putting our spin on cookies.
I'd like to shout out to our awesome sponsors real quick, especially in the house today. Brews Boutique, the world's largest Derby store, made for Derby by Derby. Check them out, brewsboutique.com.
Well, and I hear that Reckless will be conducting some sort of raffle as a fundraiser.
That's Lobstah Monster facing off against Thea.
They're going to try to push up there. Dublin has yet to get a lead jammer status. And there it is again with Lobstah Monster.
Oh, no.
And there's a track cut.
So this is Dublin's opportunity to pick up the first lead. And no, but they cannot because the star was not on Thea's head. And so we will run the full 2 minutes.
All the Derby, all the time. Just keep it going. But a nice little tiptoe through the inside field, and that's going to be 4 points put up.
Keeping it slow right as they hit turn 3.
Pack now set up on turn number 3. Boston lined up, geared up, ready to go. And that Sweet Enemy anchoring that tripod, now rotating around. And that is number 21. Emily Nolan.
So Thea trying to force the tripod to move around so that opens up that one lane, but they were just not having it. They closed that lane right down. Here comes Thea again looking for the outside. Boston's just not having it. That defense closes her down every time.
They keep turning around and locking up. But now we're going to get a direction of gameplay that will be assessed onto Boston.
So Lobstah out again for 4.
Exchanging points. Coach Violent Bob yelling over to Thea. Keep it moving. We're going to keep going. And now another 4 points picked up by Lobstah.
So you can see the jammers. You can see the work they've had to put in as they come around that straightaway. This is tough work. Lobstah finding the inside lane fairly quickly there, picks up 4. And that jam comes to a close.
And Dublin still able to pick up 4 more points, though. Going to bring it 28-16 as we're winding down after the first 10 minutes of our first half here. Very intense.
I know, right?
And now it's going to be line-up Greenhall Cooney on the line, rocking the star for Dublin. And that is going to be number 451, Rage Bradbury, who gets completely crushed in there by Pippa.
So, my mistake.
Yes.
I sincerely apologize.
All right, back on the track, Jam 7, Greenhall Cooney, jamming for Dublin, Rage Bradbury.
Jammers just getting pummeled in there.
And Boston's going to take that out of the lead again. As Stone likes to point out, biggest jam for both those teams so far. 12 for 12 points.
Cut track. Cut on Greenhall Cooney.
So now we're going to get that power jam to Boston.
Power jam to Boston and lead jammer status.
A power jam is when there's a penalty on one of the jammers. So in this case with Dublin,
4 points picked up by Boston. Oh, Rage Bradbury tried to scoot through the inside corner there, went right to the infield, recycles back in.
So one blocker and the jammer from Dublin. So Boston's got control of the track as well as the track advantage.
Right, and you did talk about before
That
about you
is
can't release the jammers when it is one penalty and then another.
second jam for Greenhall Cooley, but second cut track penalty as well. But now she's back out there with Boston, who were earlier trying to punch holes in Dublin's defensive line, trying to help Rage Bradbury get through. Now both jammers are locked into that tanglement into turn 1 through turn 2. We got a star pass possibly handed off.
Finally got it off there. It was really tough work. Dirty Brudolly Locock, sorry.
Brudal.
Brudal.
And that jam is
That was a
called.
tough.
Violet Bob coming in to speak to the refs just to get some clarification. A couple more points picked up by Boston, 34-16.
And if you enjoyed, if you were able to catch the unoriginal.
Rushing around here. And that's going to now bring up Small Fox for Boston. And Gemeralda for Dublin.
Thank you.
Gemeralda getting to the very front of the pack.
Front and out.
And that is lead jam Dublin.
Dublin needed that momentum. They had not gotten lead jam. When they did have lead jam, they sent their jammer to the box. So first lead jam for Dublin in this game.
Yeah, 4 through. Oh, it takes a step over the corner. That is now an 8-point jam so far for Gemeralda. The pack still hasn't even gotten past turn number 1. And another leap. Oh! What's the ruling? It was on the line. Nope. Fell into the infield, playing smart derby, staying inbounds, Rippy.
Just gonna take it back. That's okay. Gemerald knows that she has made it through the pack before. She's just gonna take the cautious route and come back through the pack and picks up another 4.
Gemeralda got that streak, that fire, and just juking around. But also, as I mentioned before, smart derby, knowing your track awareness, knowing even if you have slipped over that line an inch and you might be called for a cut track, returning back in.
So there has been a star pass for Boston. Caitlin Monahan is the one with the star. You'll see the pivot there. She's got the star in her hand.
And it looks like a forearm call is actually being assessed.
Oh, to
Gemeralda. Yes.
So that lead jam. So she picks up 2 because she did not leave the track. And so she will serve 2 penalties. 2 penalties in the box. This is Boston's opportunity to kill that momentum that Dublin was pulling there. We are at 34-28. Dublin had 12 on the board so far.
And now they do a quick star pass to Caitlin Monahan. After getting launched outbounds by Dublin, just laughed and just said, no, we're just going to stop there and call. We're going to let that clock go. And we're going to start off here with a power start for Boston.
Right. With one of our regular jammers in the rotation.
And look at this.
Oh,
now
wow.
2-point game. Dublin raging back.
Dublin really had the momentum there. If Gemerald had not picked up that penalty, they might have come and we might have had a lead change, but we'll never know now. But that is Casey McLean off the line.
I was going to say, you can't take anything away from Gemerald. That's 16 points. That's the biggest jam so far.
Yes, it is. Don't mean to slight Gemerald.
Never, ever.
And
Casey picking up another 4.
On Dublin attempting to pull a cut.
So Casey McLean has the lead, has already picked up 4.
Gemerald standing in the box, getting primed and ready.
Oh, big hits there.
Getting rocked into those boards.
They are not soft.
Don't lean against the wall here, folks. You might as well have a skater run into you. So please don't hang your arms or anything.
And Casey McLean
Nice.
breaks free, Ribby.
Just barely, just sheer force of will there.
Back locked in turn number 2. Forcing Gemerald out of bounds, recycling back. And that is Wednesday Adams for Boston.
Gemerald popped out of the penalty box looking like she was ready to take on this Boston defense, but it has shut her down. She is looking for a star pass, but will end up making it a stash, I believe, here. Is out of the pack this time. That is the initial pass.
Meanwhile, Casey McLean had picked up another 4, got out of bounds, and it's just going to call that one off.
No more for
Officially waiting, see if there are any other extra points. Nope, 46-32, where it was a 2-point deficit. Boston pushing forward and pushing hard. So you see in this little replay here, coming around, hard knocked into the boards, right almost into the camera. That's the sport of roller derby. It's right up in your face.
You need to trust us when we say don't hang your arms over that wall.
You may want to take a few inches of a step back.
Yes. Lobstah Monster with the star for Boston, and I believe that's Thea with the star for Dublin.
And you are absolutely correct on that. And it looks like. And yeah, that is a low block call going on Thea.
Oh, and just in case you didn't see that, Lil Payne
So
pivoted
power
Lobstah
jam
Monster,
going to
just
Boston here.
to be right
Locked
in
up number
front
2.
of
Once again,
Thea
lock test
and
monster.
for Dublin as heading to
But
the
Dublin
box.
coming in with that nice fierce tripod. Boston getting into the mix, breaking it up. But Dublin pulls right back, recycles completely tight. Like it's almost like watching an atom get split and then come right back together.
Yes. They are very aware of one another and where they are on the track and where they've got to get for the tripod to happen. And that was Voldemort getting right back in front of Lobstah, but Lobstah is able to spin around and not a full spin, kind of creep around her.
Like both these packs just swirling through each other.
Yes.
And now that was a little something. Trying to put a halt down on Thea. Thea able to stay on the skates, working that initial pass. And a quick call off by Boston. And now timeout being called by Dublin.
So we'll see. Both of our teams have a moment to talk about what's happening here. And that,
I was going to say that replay earlier, we just saw the balance of Thea getting bounced right off, and that is number 9, Little Something, but able to stay up on her skates.
if you're experiencing pain, discomfort, or just want to feel and move better, Evolved Health Chiropractic and Sports Medicine can help. Using a unique combination of muscle and joint manipulation, physiotherapy, and customized therapeutic exercise, we aim to get you better, faster. Visit our website for more information. That's www.evolvedhealthchiropractic.com.
Do they cover also injuries caused by watching other skaters taking hard hits?
I hope so.
Because I got cramps everywhere.
I felt it in my soul.
I feel bruising on my bone if that's possible. All right, now we're coming back from our timeout. Who do we got up there?
That looks like Rage Bradbury taking on Dashing Trudy Snow.
We are live here at Aleppo Shriners Auditorium, Wilmington, Mass. and Greater Boston for the first ever Lobster Roll here on WFTA TV on Twitch. Thank you for joining us here. And we are into the thick of things. Only a 20-point deficit between these teams, and that is going to be Rage Bradbury taking the lead.
Right around the outside, finding that lane open. Just took it, and it's out. The pack has not moved very much at all. Rage back around, ready to put some points on the board for Boston.
And we got a little bit pivot versus pivot between these teams.
Slowly working it out into turn 2.
Rage now caught in the throes of that Dublin tripod.
Yeah, but now Maniha currently has that hand on the star, and it looks like we're going to have a successful star pass, Rippy.
Maniha now coming into the pack. Ooh! Picks up some speed there. Now, Boston does have a blocker in the box. Now, Dublin sends a blocker to the box.
Mania looked back at Rage, and Rage just nodded her head saying, yeah, I'm coming for you.
Rage through the pack. Maniha on the inside.
4 for 4 there. It was funny, both of them, the pack was like centered up, and they just took the outside of the pack on either side and just met together.
Oh, nice little backwards move there by Maniha. Just like a single lane. Just needed a few inches there.
Rage Bradbury put back at the beginning of the straightaway. Ooh, what a hit. And that was Wednesday Adams put Mania into the infield. And actually will be called on that one. Sent back to the box for a second time in this jam.
Oh, Maniha. Oh.
A stare down and a little like flip of the hip. You remember me.
Yes, you will take home a little souvenir from this game.
All right, bringing now 63-48. About 9 minutes change still in our first half.
And in case you were not aware, the Lobster Roll here at Boston Roller Derby is a WFTA recognized tournament.
And if you're trying, don't forget to join on the chat here on Twitch. If you got any questions, we're going to do our best to answer them. Any shout-outs, definitely do so. And we are out AK and Small Fox.
Oh, AK picks up lead, doing a little spin there. Had to check her jam ref to make sure.
Careful on her toe stops, keeping their eye on him. Not too far behind. Small Fox catch him. Pack now moving in to turn 2. And knocked to the outside, and that was by number 5, Sweet Enemy of Boston.
So AK looked like she might try to call it off, but then changed her mind and decided to get back through the pack again. But Small Fox also engaging around on 1 foot.
Ooh. Rode that line.
Yes.
And from our angle, her skates were a little bit up in angles here. But look at that little hop there on our replay of AK and riding the line there.
Yes. What?
That's some sweet skills.
Yeah, it was. Never took her eyes off that foot. She
Yeah,
made sure she was on the inbounds.
One more time.
We have that now. How rad is that?
Oh, beautiful. Now Greenhole Cooney line skate against Casey McLean. Boston with only 1 blocker in the box. Back advantage now to Dublin.
Oh, wow. Nice little move there by Casey McLean, picking up lead jammer for Boston.
Back still has it moved up past turn number 1, and Casey McLean pops on through, going to pick up a full 4 points. Greenhall has that star stash. Huge hit to Casey McLean.
There.
Yeah, that was by Pippa.
That was Greenhall Cooney.
But Greenhill Cooney is able to make it out. That ended up being a stash, not a pass.
And that is going to put it up now 75-52 for Boston. Still anyone's game.
Yes, still, we've seen Dublin, once they find their stride, they can really come back and bring it. So we just got to see them bring that momentum back, and they'll be right back in this.
Into Jam 14. Your jammer
Now we got Lobstah Monster going up against Gemerald.
Up against Lobstah Monster.
And they finally, like, Dublin.
Look at that.
Yeah, Lobstah Monster, excuse me, locked in. Still hasn't even reached that pivot line. Meanwhile, Gemerald has already worked that full lap. And there it is.
Out.
There it is, Rippy. Full 4.
This is it. They needed this momentum. Gemerald doing a great job so far, but it is Lobstah Monster is out of the pack now on the initial.
To the Dublin defense, because
So 2 points on that pass, so 6 total for Gemerald. That brings us 75-58. We're ticking down to the 6-minute mark for the first half of the last game on the first day of the first annual.
This is history in the making, Rippy.
Lobster Roll.
We are here, history here in the greater Boston area for this Lobster Roll. And everyone's rocking lobster gear left and right. But,
Yes.
But here we are, Jam 15, Rage
Do you
Bradbury.
see this baby right here?
Yes.
We need a shot of the lobster baby.
But meanwhile, Thea
Let's see if we can work on that.
Meanwhile, Thea lead jam for Dublin. Come out with a fire, but now Rage Bradbury bursts through and will be working that initial pass. Thea goes out of bounds, put a halt to that one. And still picking up 2 points for Dublin.
They decided to take a break.
Yeah, Thea laughing and they're just dropping to her knees on the way to the bench and just can't contain herself. She's having so much fun here.
They're making their way down the side.
But look at it now, 15-point deficit. Dublin just creeping up. Every point counts here.
Yes, and every little tiny point where they also keep Boston scoreless. Better news for them. Dashing Trudy Snow facing off against Small Fox. I like being validated by the house announcers. It's nice.
Trudy trying to find that little opening.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Both of the defenses here, Rippy.
Yes. And Dublin doing a good job holding on. Now, you notice they had somebody in the box, so they had a blocker in the box, and so they're still holding on to the Boston Jammer. Now they have their full complement, but
yeah, I'm looking just at the tripod with Lana Payne there. Hold on now, pivot for Boston coming in, trying to break things up.
people trying to break things up, but it looks like Dashing Trudy Snow's trying to find the outside. Does get through, picks up lead jammer for Dublin.
And planets to the box. Didn't see what that call clear was from over here.
There's a lot of people between us and the track, Grim, but I know that was a star pass to, I think, Caitlin Monahan, I think, is who got that star. It's an exciting game. You can't blame people for standing up and doing the things, and that is how it's going to go.
And just like to thank a few
We need stilts.
announced.
We need the first ever WFTDA game called
The announcers need to be on a platform so that we can see the whole track. Yeah.
A little cherry picker.
So Dublin has been lead 5 out of the last 6 jams. No, 5 out of 6 jams. Sorry. 16, because I cannot read is what that is. 5 out of 16 jams, 3 leads in the last 3 jams. So again, when they pick up that momentum, Dublin can come back.
KK 47 of Dublin taking that lead jam. Already now engaged into the back of Boston. Came with a good speed, but now locked up with Wednesday Adams. Wednesday putting the force on. Yep, and out of bounds she goes.
I think just stepped on that tape. Casey McLean now out of the pack on the initial pass, and a cut track given to AK. That momentum can be jerked away just as quickly
We're also going to have a full
And I see another track cut being thrown up. This time track cut on Casey McLean.
Oh!
Another do-si-do of double track cutting.
That's rare to see for a
So we'll
jammer.
wait and see.
We'll have a quick reset out.
Here comes AK back, heading back to the track.
58 seconds left on the jam clock.
Place, round
Coming back into
two.
turn 2.
Anxiously awaiting jammers.
Each team with a full pack ready to go. Trying to push their way
Yeah.
through the outside of the pack. Boston is mixed in with Dublin skaters.
There are people trying to break up the pack and people trying to form the pack. But the bad news for our jammers, when they sat down for that penalty, it gave both of those great defenses an opportunity to set up and wait for them. Now AK is out of the pack, picks up 4.
Decided to do something about it.
And it looks like we're going to have a star pass that is going to go to Wednesday Adams of Boston.
AK out of the pack again for 4. 3 awarded to Wednesday Adams.
And with that, I see Violent Bob throwing up an official review on behalf of Dublin. With 1 minute and 4 seconds left in our first half. 79-71, down to an 8-point game here. But anything can change based on whatever this official review is going to be.
Yes.
But a quick shout out while we're while they're sorting out everything over there. A quick shout out to the Cambridge School of Culinary Arts, one of our many sponsors here at the Lobster Roll. Cambridge School of Culinary Arts offering professional culinary and pastry training programs, recreational cooking classes for all, and private cooking or baking classes for family parties and corporate events. Check out CambridgeCulinary.com for more information.
Also, we cannot let Brews Boutique go unmentioned. Brews Boutique is the world's largest Derby store made for Derby by Derby. Visit them at www.brewsedboutique.com. They do have a brick and mortar location in Nashua, New Hampshire, if you just happen to be in that area and you would like to go.
My crew from Providence Roller Derby ends up always having an elected skater go with everybody's money in a list. Here you go, pick up everything we need.
Or you could just come to the Lobster Roll.
Yeah.
And then just go into our lobby and Brews Boutique is here.
No shipping or handling needed.
No shipping or handling.
Also, a big shout out again today, especially being sponsored by the Derby Apex. As being the first Lobster Roll, that's a big honor. Training tips, league resources, scores analysis, and so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and bookmark thederbyapex.com to stay up to date with the latest news from #Derby Twitter and the Derby community.
So we do have some communication happening here that hopefully will get us some information about the official review.
We're still doing Name That Camel, and just camel is not going to suffice.
I will say there was one earlier. It was Mark Hamill the camel, which I really liked.
Mark Hamill, I like that a little bit better.
And, if we tagged Mark Hamill, maybe he would respond or something. I don't know. I mean, he's on Twitter, right?
We should get him as an announcer.
Yeah.
But only if he does the joke.
Oh my gosh.
Only if he does the Joker, though. I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with either. He can do Luke or he can do the Joker.
We'll be getting that information about Rippy. Who are we kicking off on this jam
right
here?
now, you're looking at Gemerald is wearing the star for Dublin and Loch Test Monster wearing the star for Boston. We are at the very last few ticks of the first half here. And it is Gemerald who gets out as lead jammer for Dublin. Now there has been a star pass, and now Boston has Caitlin Monahan.
On her head, so he had a completed star pass for Boston.
So it is
and
Violent Bob and the whole bench here at Dublin telling Gemerald to keep it going.
Meanwhile, backstretch on the verge of turn 3.
Caitlin Monahan is also out with 4, so we're just going to see.
I apologize, Gemerald. I read incorrect information. Sometimes.
And call off there.
Yes, but Gemerald.
Yeah, additional 2 points picked up by Dublin.
Interview with earlier.
Calling it 84-77. Clock still winding down. And and official review being called by Boston at 2 seconds left. Now with the previous one, we didn't get any information over here, but we do know that Dublin did lose it. They did lose that one. But interesting to see what Boston's going to be calling this one, waiting down to that 2 second mark.
I really feel like maybe,
That's right.
there was a lot of reaction over here on a potential track cut, and so I feel like it could potentially have been that Dublin thought there was a track cut that was uncalled. As you mentioned, Cac, they did not retain their official review, so if they did think it was a track cut, the officials certainly did not think that.
A shout out to all our volunteers, making sure the track is top-notch here at the Aleppo Shriners Auditorium here, Wilmington, Massachusetts, Greater Boston. Right now, you listen to the CAG with Rippy and Rosetta Stone as our awesome producer.
Appreciate all the work over there.
All of you for your hard work. It's been a great event in the making.
Well,
She's more than just brains. She's also fun.
I gotta tell you, Stone, you make me sparkle. And not just that, why be flat when you can sparkle with refreshingly natural polar seltzer? It has no calories, no sodium, no sugars, no sweeteners, and no gluten. Hashtag Polar Derby.
I'm kind of a fan now.
Handmade soaps, lotions, healing.
Didn't think I was going to be a fan, but I kind of am.
So what it's looking like from over here is there was a back block call that they challenged on the jammer, number 16, and that is Gemerald. And it looks like it's going to stand because she is sitting in the box and looking over team and saying, yeah, it was a back block. So we're going to have a final jam with 2 seconds on the clock with a power start for Boston.
And let me also point out that the pivot for Dublin is also sitting in the box. So Dublin will start down 2 players, as one of them being the jammer, one of them being the pivot. So this is Dublin's really going to have to stay all over the track, and they're doing a great job so far against Rage Bradbury, who's wearing the star for Boston. They are trying to hang on to Rage Bradbury, but Rage is not going to have it and gets out, picks up lead jammer.
That's still that clock worn down a little bit. And another skater, it looks like, for Dublin reporting to the box.
Dublin has got to stay out of the penalty box.
Where Valdemar sits down, instead coming back. Burley, Lowcock, and Gemeralda have returned to the track. 4 points picked up by Rage Bradbury of Boston.
Sure, Rage was looking at the penalty box, trying to make sure all the teammates are out. And does get the signal to call it off. And that will bring us to intermission.
Yeah, a couple more points picked up by Boston there.
There were a couple of large takes by Boston, but right now we're sitting at 90 for Boston, 77 for Dublin. Totally manageable for either team at this point.
Over for your musical enjoyment. We'll be back shortly.
As we're going to take this quick break here, remember, 90 Boston, 77 Dublin. We'll be back in a little bit.
We will be back. You come back too. All right, I think we are back.
Oh my goodness.
Trim, I think this is exciting.
I had to splash some more water on my face.
Right.
It was pretty exciting. And by the way, Lightning Slam, hashtag you're not old. You age like fine wine, sir. But yeah, coming back in, like Boston Mascot 90, Dublin Roller Derby 77. Stone just relayed, no one really is in any penalty trouble. The most anyone has is about 3. It's just been spread out between the teams.
Right, and it's been like little runs of penalties at a time. We know that so far Boston has done a better job at getting lead jammer status. When Dublin is able to build that momentum and get out, they're able to really close the gap between these two teams. Now, we're not that far. It's 90 to 77, so not a big differential here.
Oh, not at all. And as he's been saying here, it's been a lot of the hard hits. And one of the things that Illinois versus Dublin early when they were playing Houston, they had a very put together like one unit of defense that would also switch to offense. Boston has completely flipped that game around on Dublin and been able to break up that pack a little more. But also, equally, Dublin moves incredibly fast and can reform as well.
Yes.
And that's what helps it also become such a narrow game as well. But at one point, even Boston went 3 jams in a row without scoring any points. And that's about the longest jams in a row that either team has gone scoreless.
Right. It is, yeah, it's just been a little bit here, a little bit there, and you can kind of tell that by the score. But no huge runs here. Nobody with an enormous double-digit jam under their belts. Just both teams, the defense out on the track has been spectacular by both teams. They're able to kill power jams when they need to. They're able to hang on to the jammers, get their teams out of the penalty box. It's been pretty exciting, back and forth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And once again, a big shout out to one of our big sponsors here. New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath, SEWCIPOTH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order leg wear for teams and individuals, size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armbands, helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please check them out at sociopath.ca for more details. I wonder if they can make me even more awesome leggings.
I was gonna say, like, I think all of us, we need armbands like yours, you know, that we have our little your CAC armbands because they're pretty nice.
Thank you,
The CAC bands.
And thank you for adhering to my request. You're wonderful. And you can follow them on Instagram. I do believe it is @unoriginal.
So we are waiting for our officials to clear us,
Amazing.
and there you hear that rolling whistle.
It is
And during the halftime, we had a local act. The Unoriginals were playing up in that big stage in the back, as you can see on the camera. Amazing band with amazing covers.
Really?
They did Rage Against the Machine. It was fantastic.
And they did a great job. Like, that's hard to nail. Now, as we were talking, looks like Thea is out as lead jammer for Dublin. Casey McLean wearing the star for Boston, getting recycled back here almost to the pivot line.
Out into turn 2.
And it is a full house on the flat track, 5-on-5.
Yes.
Boston, look at that wall.
I know. It is not moving.
Effectively putting the brakes on.
Thea's going to have to find a hole in there. She's not able to get a lot of offensive help because they're too busy hanging on to Casey McLean.
Yeah, MC Slammer was that anchor in that tripod, keeping it locked down. It looks like 3 points.
0 jam in favor.
Yep, 3 points picked up by Dublin.
In favor of Dublin.
Now it is a 10-point game.
Yes, and more important, keeping Boston to 0 on that go round. And we've seen Dublin do this, just chip away at that lead
Don't lie to them.
that's kept them within striking distance here.
Very shortly. Whistle has been blown.
You know that's AK-47 wearing the star for Dublin, but it's Lobstah that's out first
Lead to her
for
credit.
Boston.
And up against AK.
money currently in the box for Dublin, giving that pack advantage to Boston. Block test using that advantage. Now engaged to that pack, and we've got some signals thrown up. It looks like that's a cut track on a blocker for Dublin. 4 points picked up by Boston now. It's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be, as we predicted, it's gonna be back and forth action between these teams, shot for shot.
Now that's the second blocker for Dublin in the box. Yep, so.
Yeah, that's Lana Payne. Got hit with a track cut there on turn number 2.
So it gives Boston a large advantage. It's Gemerald with a star for Dublin, but it is Rage Bradbury that sprints up the outside, picks up lead jammer for Boston.
Look at Boston dividing Dublin's defense. And another blocker cycling back in. That's number 8, Chancletta. Not too far behind her. Number 90, little something of Boston.
Oh,
and,
looks like was that a back block?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back block on Rage Bradbury. This is Power Jam Dublin. Huge opportunity as they already put 4 on the board with the skating of Gemerald.
Gemerald has done a great work on the track so far as jammer. Has taken a couple of those runs, is able to negotiate the Boston defense. We'll see what she can do with this power jam. Now this will go the full 2 minutes. Still another minute left on the jam clock.
Of course, now it is another 4 tagged on. 12-point jam coming in. We're down to 2. Boston fires back 4, pushing it up just as Dublin was just about to cross that threshold.
Gemerald thinking for just a minute that she could call it, but cannot.
Lana Payne knocking Rage Bradbury for another recycle.
Way on back.
Just the great footwork of MC Slammer, keeping her pack together along with Wednesday Adams. Crushing on in now, Dublin coming into the rescue.
Chancletta trying to run some interference back and forth there, but can't really.
The purpose, obviously, saving the points, but at the same time, with the positional block.
Oh, and a back block assessed for Gemerald. That will put Dublin's jammer in the box for a full penalty. This will be a power start for Boston.
And Boston has now hit that triple digits, 101 to 94, where with that power jam that Dublin had, it looked like they were getting close to the big LC. Unfortunately, just fell through, but they still have much time, many opportunities, over 25 minutes to go.
Yes.
And this power start rocked by Small Fox of Boston.
Small Fox is great at just jumping around, just staying really active and frenetic, really, until she pops out of the pack, picks up lead jammer there for Boston.
Trying to find that opening on the outside. And great work there by Emily Nolan, just pushing some of the defensive Dublin away.
Just doing a great job of opening up that lane, and Small Fox able to take advantage of it. Now Gemerald is back on the track, engaging with the pack.
Falling down as Small Fox heading into the
Getting a no pass, no penalty being thrown up in the air.
Who exits upon that tumble.
And that is Gemerald working that initial pass. Pack now picking up speed. Small Fox with another 4 points in the air, and will call that one.
But look, Gemerald was able to sneak in 3 there right before.
Then from Sweetie as she returned from the penalty box to her jammer. And it was successful.
We are now back to a 12-point game.
Just a reminder,
Getting called up now, number 800, Thea Rocket the Star for Dublin, and number 11, Casey McLean for Boston.
The wall, the wooden wall around the track, it is there for the safety of skaters and fans alike. Also, please do not put any objects on it, such as drinks, because liquid near the track is a bad idea.
And we're cycling
Okay,
back
kids?
and forth.
All right, that's my lecture for the
Thea
moment.
trying to find that open.
Casey's just going to push the pack backwards.
Mania.
That works.
Mania's drilling away at Boston.
Casey McLean picking up lead jammer though for the Massacre.
And now going back to the box, that is Valdemort. But Casey McLean will pick up that lead jam there, Rippy.
Yep. Comes in hard to that tripod and picks up a back block. So that lead will be taken away. We'll go the full 2 minutes.
That's the second back block penalty in a row for Boston Jammers.
Let's see what Thea can do out there. It is a power game, but she is missing one of her blockers.
The awkward blocker sandwich happening as everything is pretty close together.
So if she can get a little bit of help there, she does get a little bit of help, but is pushed out on the straightaway.
Yeah, Wednesday Adams with a little help of a little something. Giving her a little something.
Just get a little touch.
Just a little oomph, and that's all it takes.
I'm telling you, Boston doing a great job of killing the power jam. Oh,
And that was 121. Agent Mulder going for the hit on Thea, goes sliding out of turn 3.
so Thea did finally make it through the pack, but that was the initial pass. And so that entire power jam was killed. Now we've got Casey McLean back through the pack, picking up 4, out of the penalty box now.
With a little hop, skip in the air and the straightaway. Now coming back in, collides there with Mania.
Bounce to the infield, back at it. And a drawback from the Massacre.
Look at the tag
Look
team.
at that, just
Mania and
one.
Clayton. It's the most painful thing to watch getting hit by them.
it's just a 1-2 punch. It's just over and over, just 1-2, 1-2. Now we'll have both pivots serve some time in the penalty box, so we'll have an even number of skaters on the field. But that jam comes to a close.
Casey's smiling on her way back going, that hurt so much. And a nice little hop that you see on the straightaway where she picked up the last 4 points for Boston.
It is kind of like you guys did a good job of keeping me from doing anything else.
You see Thea on that replay back there just crashing into a thick wall of Boston lined up by Wednesday Adams. Now we got Lobstah Monster and 8K, Rippy.
Before that, we have this jam number 6, AK.
Again, just watching the defense work here. And the defenses are so strong. Again, both have a blocker, so they just have the tripod, so they don't have an extra person to try to run interference there to help the jammer through. Now Boston does clear theirs. That is Wednesday Adams back on the track, and now Maniha back on the track for Dublin as well.
And Birdie Locock going to the box. Meanwhile, Lobstah Monster finally getting that lead jam.
There's been a
We had a
star pass. Okay, just checking to make sure. That was Maniha who was in the penalty box. Remember, we had both pivots in the penalty box. But Maniha unable to get around and pick up points on that pass.
Here is your number 6.
We're sitting at 121 to 97 in favor of Boston, ticking down to around 20 minutes left in the second half of our last game today.
Good. Quick shout out to Good Mojo Tattoos here in Beverly, Massachusetts. Schedule a free consult with one of their artists today. Check out goodmojotattoos.com, Rippy.
Oh, up the inside. Rage Bradbury saw that lane open up and just went for it. Gemerald had the star for Dublin, but now has passed it off to Staba, I believe that is.
Took a hard hit from Chancleta, but she's going to go to the box for that contact.
Seeing a lot more visitations to the penalty box this half.
Yeah, we're in short to 3 for 2. Now, now Locock coming on in.
They're just doing a great job. The blockers are doing a great job of opening up that lane for Rage. And, you know, of course, Rage sees it and goes for it. Through the center that time. We're seeing a lot of bodies in and out of the penalty box. It's causing enough of a pause there in the defense to allow jammers to get through. they're just taking advantage of that moment of confusion.
A lot of it heavy on Dublin's side. Rage Bradbury hanging up another 4 points.
Staba struggling to get through the defense.
The one jammer trying to play a little defense.
I mentioned before that wear and tear of losing blockers to the penalty box. And now a forearm call also on Dublin. And that is going to be on Burdal E. Lowcock. 4 points then again picked up by Rage Bradbury, 141 to 97.
So Dublin has to clean it up here. They have had quite a few shirts in the penalty box this jam. And there goes yet another Dublin player to the box.
Oh my goodness, I think that was like the biggest jam so far.
And that was Jimerald.
Yep.
Jimerald has been an outstanding jammer for Dublin, but now sits in the box as a blocker as she passed off the star in the last jam.
Yeah, 22 points though, picked up 22 altogether by Rage Bradbury, the biggest jam thus far. We are going to fight a timeout with the officials. Pilot bomb out there for Dublin. Confirmed with the officials. Dublin have not picked up a lead jam since the first jam. That's 6 in a row for Boston.
Boston has come out the second half. They drank some caffeine during the timeout. And after that first jam, we saw Dublin had a little bit of momentum, but Boston has closed it down.
Green Hall Cooney out there rocking the star for Dublin. Small Fox for Boston. And Small Fox is out. That is lead number 7 for them.
Green Cooney also out of the pack for the initial pass.
We appreciate it, and thank you, Dan Yankee, for all that you do.
And we're on a forearm call. Green Hall was called by a forearm earlier on. Now having to get back to the penalty box. So now that jam is over, we're going to have a power start for Boston. But real quick, when it comes to New England Roller Derby Report, they would like to thank their personal sponsor, Sociopath. SCWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn to order legwear from teams and individuals. That includes size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath offers dozens of armband helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so have your team look into it at sociopath.ca.
Also, let me tell you about Blood and Thunder magazine. Life's better on roller skates. www.bloodandthundermag.com. That's blood and A-N-D spelled out, thundermag.com.
Roller Derby, that's right. And we love our cola seltzer around here at Lobster Roll. So,
and our fearless leader, beautiful Banshee, on the house mic with Pierre McGettin, talking about that polar seltzer. I had some of that cranberry lime earlier.
Did you?
Oh my God, it was fantastic. I guess it was popular because it was gone before I could go have a second one.
Right.
But again, no calories,
popular.
no sodium, no sugar, no sweeteners, no gluten.
And I mean, why would you be flat?
Huh?
Why would you be flat
I am not.
when you could be sparkly?
I am all
You
sparkles.
are so sparkly.
I am. Because hashtag Polar Derby is
That's
how
right.
I live.
That is right.
If you haven't talked to Reckless yet, you should. She's trying to raise $12,000.
So looks like our officials have settled whatever information they needed to share with one another.
Domestic violence survivors and their children.
Maybe I spoke too soon. That's okay.
I think we're going to be bringing it back together again. We're going to see if there's any change-ups. Right now, of course, there was only an official, there's a review with the officials themselves. And power start still remaining for number 11, Casey McLean of Boston. And also, as you mentioned before, number 16, Gemerald, is also in the box as well, now starting to get released.
So yeah, that is unfortunate when you pass the star and you wind up in the box as a blocker when you're one of the best jammers on the team, one of the strongest rotation. Now Casey McLean has already popped out of the pack and picked up lead jammer for Boston.
But also all of the blockers doing the work, working those lines.
And there's the Dublin defense.
Yeah.
They come and start swarming around now, and they're locking down Casey McLean.
Midway between turns 1 and 2.
Bridge trying to be gap, but they're going to have to let her go. That's going to be 4 more picked up by Boston.
Now they're going to be set up ready for it to go now. You'll see the Boston defense ready to come in and run interference, break up that tripod. Dublin's going to have to find their tripod and set up.
Greenhall finally released after the full minute sitting in the box. Got that second penalty for not reporting to the penalty box when she got that forearm.
So we'll, give props to Dublin with that penalty so far. 8 points only from Boston. We do have a star pass to Staba for Dublin. So Dublin did not let Boston run away with that. I mean, they did get 10 points. It was a double-digit jam, but really held on to them. Didn't let it run away. So we got to give them props for that.
Yeah, another 10 points overall in that jam stacked up for Boston, 155 to 104. Still 14 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in our second half. You're joining us here on WF2DA TV on Twitch. Streaming live here from the Lobster Roll here at the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Massachusetts of Greater Boston, presented by Boston Roller Derby. And speaking of Boston Roller Derby, number 211, Lobstah Monster with the lead jam.
Lobstah Monster doing a great job jamming this evening. But Dashing Trudy Snow is another name that we've heard quite a bit at this tournament. Oh, high block assessed to Lobstah. This will be a power jam for Dublin. And lead jammer has been relinquished because of the penalty. And we'll go the full 2 minutes. Dashing Trudy Snow picks up 4.
This could be the huge opportunity that they need to start crawling back.
They got to contend with that Boston defense, and so you'll see Dublin running up there, the defense trying to interfere with the tripod.
Drilling a line through the inside. Boston trying to reform quick enough. They're able to get Trudy into the infield, having her cycle back. And in that meantime, Lobstah has been released from the penalty box.
Again, a great kill by the Boston defense. Getting their jammer out, and there goes Lobstah around the inside. Picks up 4. 4 for 4 so far.
Yep, Trudy recycled back behind Audrey Planets.
That's just acts like walls aren't there. She just kind of leans a little bit and then she's out.
Dublin did a good job there for a few minutes hanging on to Lobstah, but she's just so forceful. She can break open the seams, disrupts that tripod, gets through, and Dashing Trudy Snow around the outside of Sweet Enemy picks up 4 there. So we're 8-8 so far this jam.
And that is going to be a high block call on number 17, Dirty Knees Louise. And that's going to wrap up that jam. But they are going to pick up 2 points for Dublin, stacking it on 163 to 114. 12 minutes, 25 seconds remaining.
Win this jam, but only by 2 points.
Oh, okay, I'm watching the different scoreboard here. 12-8 is what they've got. 12 for Dublin, 8 for Boston on that one. I think we've settled now. I think that's right.
Remember, don't hang your beer over the wall. Something can happen to it.
Rage Bradbury facing off against Thea. Rage driven back here almost to the jammer line. Thea working against the front of the pack.
And how much have things changed? Remember, we started off the second half with a 10-point deficit between these teams. Now almost a 15-point and spread out. And again, it was, as we mentioned, the revolving door of penalties, heavy on Dublin's side.
Yes. Dublin took a speed of just one after the other bodies headed to the penalty box. They have been able to clean that up, but we need to see.
Oh, we get a high block call. That's going to go Rage Bradbury. Power jam now for Dublin.
So lead still eligible, and that is Thea picking up lead for Dublin.
In the meantime, Wednesday Adams go into the box as well. And three members of Boston now in the box. That's being joined by number 121, Agent Mulder. There's a pack advantage with this power jam for Dublin.
So Thea trying to do some work there, gets past McSlammer.
Slammer, I'm sorry, Slammer.
Points picked up there by the
4 up, coming back around, Pack into the straightaway, come out turn 2. And still knocked into the infield, being recycled back is Thea.
This is Dublin's first lead since that first jam when we started the second half. They have got to be feeling it. Thea trying to do some work here, an additional 4 there on that pass. Another penalty, a cut track picked up by Rage Bradbury. There's only 10 seconds left in this jam, and so we may see Dublin here start with a power start.
It very much could. And yep, that is going to wrap up this jam. An additional 2 more points picked up by Thea. 163, 126. We're under the 10-minute mark, Rippy.
Yes, 10 points for Dublin. Now, Dublin just needs to find some momentum here, little lift, and they are within striking distance here. We do have a timeout called by Boston.
And thank you again for joining us here at day 1 of the first ever Lobster Roll, Rippy. It's been so awesome. Packed house here at the Aleppo Shriners Auditorium, and today being sponsored by none other than the Derby Apex. Remember, training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, and so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. We're talking about Facebook, Rippy. I'm talking about Twitter. I'm talking about the Instagram. And don't forget, you have to bookmark them at thederbyapex.com.
Got it.
You have to. You know why?
You got to be on all the socials.
Yes, you got to be on all the socials, and you need to stay up to date with the latest news. We got hashtag Derby Twitter, and also with the Derby community. You know me, I love information, and the Apex
you do.
delivers.
It is true. I'm also going to tell you now about Wicked Skatewear, your source for roller skates, gear, and apparel since 2007. Check out their selection at wickedskatewear.com.
We're now come back from timeout. Pack moved up to the pivot line. We have that power start for Dublin, and that is number 47, AK.
AK doing some great work as jammer so far this game. And out of the pack, picks up lead for Dublin.
AK fires as that Pack now locked in between the apex of turn 1 and 2.
Rage just waiting to pop out of the penalty box is released. So now we have both jammers on the track.
Dublin actually played smart. They were trying to drill a little bit into the defensive wall. Boston quickly turned around, sensing Rage Bradbury on the way, quickly reformed, and you can see the blocking by both these teams have turned up a notch. But
look at AK. That is brute force right there. AK, they're going to have to let her go. The pack is getting stretched out. Is she in bounds? Yes.
Oh my
she
goodness.
stayed in bounds.
And Wednesday Adams is going
I'm
to the
telling
penalty
you,
box.
Do not skip leg day is all I'm saying. We got a blocker apiece, but now Rage Bradbury cannot pass the star, which he was looking to do because Wednesday Adams is the pivot in the box for Boston.
And a little bump, and oh my
that
goodness.
made me exhausted just watching AK push them back.
Yeah, just look at this, and the little bump down, but with that contact, illegal contact, going to the box. One more time, let's look at this, Ruby.
I mean,
just put Sisyphus pushing that boulder
she is.
around
That's
turn 3.
but unlike Sisyphus, she got out.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, man.
She was able to get out.
Oh, I broke a sweat watching
I know.
that.
I am sweating for her. That is Small Fox facing off against Green Hell Cooney.
So if you don't have a ticket, go get it. Last call because they'll be calling it at
2 in the box for Dublin and 1 for Boston. That is
my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Green Hell Cooney out first as
But no
not lead jammer. Not lead jammer. Oh, because she came in front of the blocker that knocked her out, and so she did the no pass, no penalty.
Oh, yeah, scoreless jam there.
I was excited for Dublin, but that was a no pass, no penalty, so No lead awarded there for Dublin as they exit the pack.
Getting to that 7-minute mark. Casey McLean lining up skate to skate versus Dashin' Trudy Snow.
Heading into jam 14, we've got Casey
You can
McLean
feel
up
the
against
energy here. We're right
Snowy.
behind the two
So
benches.
cameras getting caught up in the back.
Everybody's
Things are
as excited as we are.
snug, and,
Several of them are coming,
Dublin's
more of them are
headed
coming out of the
with
stands and trying to find an
front
opening
side
around the boards. They want to get right up in here.
Casey McLean stepping back, stepping back. Looks like that was Brudal Elocock trying to drive back Casey McLean.
Yeah, but Brother Lowcock being having a wonderful tag team there with Lana Payne
Yep.
and Maria Von Slap.
Now everybody out of the penalty box. Now they're doing a great job working on Casey McLean. But meanwhile, poor Dashing Trudy Snow is getting held up in the Boston defense. That's Casey McLean. Did pick up lead.
But yeah, the hurt she got already.
Right. She finally got through there. The star is in Dashing Trudy Snow's hand.
But it's not going to help because it looks like
Yep.
169 Brother
Yep.
Lowcock to the penalty box.
Yep. But that's okay because Dashing Trudy Snow out of the pack now on the initial pass. 4 points picked up by Boston. Casey McLean.
For Snowy. We have a static pack.
Hard hit. Casey McLean fired to the outside up the straightaway, and she's going to call that. Have to pick up another 3 more points for Boston.
We're under 5.5 minutes left in the second half.
Woo!
We hope you can feel the energy in the room that we can.
I agree. Oh, the humanity, what's going on? Now lining up number 800 Thea going against number 211 Lobstah Monster.
Lobstah Monster out there facing off against.
God, just the pile up as they come off. You can see everybody has the energy of being in this game and it being so close. And it's Thea that picks up lead for Dublin.
Coming around fast, pack in turn number 2.
So far, Dublin has had some trouble hanging on to Lobstah, but this time they were able to hang on to her all the way around to the far straightaway.
And please do not lean any
Oh my
items
God.
over
Quickly
the
calling that
wall
off, and now
due to
able to pick up a couple of
safety
points. An
issues. Just
official
like to make
review being
sure
called
that
by
no one
Dublin.
is going to trip.
Very
What?
vehement
And no, I'm not
official
saying
review being called by Dublin.
Violent
I
Bob-
feel like Violent Bob was really sure about that
I
one.
thought he was going to like forget gravity exists and take off from them.
He was leaping up and down.
He's like wearing the old school moon shoes from the early
Yes, I know.
90s.
He was ready to call that official review as soon as the jam ended.
4 minutes, 20 seconds, 174, 134. Just a 30-point deficit. And still, that means anything can happen and only 30 points.
Yes, I mean, it's really,
Oh, my goodness, my goodness.
it is, you know, one little shift in the momentum here can change the outcome of this game. It is not a certainty right now for Boston.
Unbelievably impressive. And not
Oh,
only
my
on the
goodness.
humans. Yes. There are
Thank you
adults in
again
the
for
building
joining us
who
here
have
on
matching
WFTD
lobster
TV,
print outfits.
live on Twitch for the
That
first
is
ever
it.
lobster roll here in Greater Boston, presented by Boston Roller Derby. Ooh, history being made here.
Yes, it already is.
Still looking for a name for our camel.
Yeah, hashtag name that camel. It does go on through tomorrow. We're going to have more action. And in
Yeah.
case you don't have that schedule up in front of you, we'll present that for you. Starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Boston's going to be back here taking on Naptown. That's going to be followed by at 12 o'clock, Dublin versus Sacramento. Then at 2, Houston versus Boston. 4 o'clock, Naptown versus Dublin. And then we're going to kick off at, we're going to close it out at 6 p.m. Houston versus Sacramento.
So tonight, if a name comes to you in a dream, you can still tell us tomorrow at the hashtag BRD Lobstah Roll. I'm sorry, hashtag. Sorry, BRD. I was like, I'm missing something. It's hashtag BRD Lobstah Roll, like Lobstah, Lobstah roll, and we will get your camel name on our list of things.
Absolutely. And we'll get that official review soon here.
Yes.
It looks like Dublin did
Camel
lose
Watch.
it. Camel Watch.
We've got a
Oh,
Camel
no.
Watch 2019 list, and we will put you on it.
Yeah, Dublin did lose the review. We don't have any of the details, but I can tell you right now, AK for Dublin is the lead jam.
Just throwing those arms, just working the upper body as well as the lower body, gets out of the pack. Rage Bradbury still in the pack. Looks like the star is on the track.
And being held back by Lana Payne and also by Brutally Lowcock, who's going to get sent to the box.
Lots of people between. Maybe that's the pivot. Yeah, maybe that's the pivot cap. Because there's the star.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
She just lost her pivot cap.
Yeah,
okay.
that was Wednesday Adams' pivot cap. Yeah. 4 points, though, picked up by Dublin.
We're under 3.5 minutes left in the second half.
Starting to reform at the line as Green Cooney coming up for Dublin. Going up against Small Fox of Boston. Now we have one member of Boston's team in the penalty box, 2 for Dublin.
So as we said, penalties.
Sorry, defensive jamming by Green Cooney, teaming up with her blockers, holding down Small Fox, and it looked like it might have.
Oh, it worked. It worked. You know, if 2 of your blockers are sitting in the box, you got to try some stuff. It worked out.
Absolutely. Now the pack is fully racing into the straightaway. Now entering turn number 3. Pack's now lining up.
So if they can keep the pack spread out like that, the jammers can find a hole.
Oh, she thought she was able to when she goes out of bounds. The other skaters went out. Nope. Cut track to Green Cooney. This is now.
So now we're switcheroo.
And they have work to do. That's right.
Oh.
Getting right back at it.
But it was just a couple of seconds in the penalty box for each jammer. The lead jammer has been relinquished. We'll go the full 2 minutes here. Green Cooney through the pack, picks up 4. Small Fox follows it with 4.
And now line up there, holding down Small Fox over at turn 1. Bridging that pack, Caitlin Monahan for Boston.
Both defenses, if they get a minute, just a second to form, they just lock down the jammers. There's no mercy there. It's when the jammers can keep it moving, get a hold to form, they can get through.
Been seeing failure to reform penalties, multiplayer penalties coming up. 4 for 4 points for both of these jammers again. Right now, 182, 146. We are getting down to that final minute, Rippy.
Yes. The money has been released from the penalty box. That is the pivot. So if Green Cooney was looking for a pass, could actually make it. But we are now under 1 minute left, and we have a timeout. Good call there.
So there were 2 more on that pass. So 12
I think that was called by Dublin.
Dublin during that jam, but Boston still maintaining a 34-point lead, 184 to 150.
Yep, we're at that
we
58-second mark.
Quick timeout.
But with our quick timeout, again, one more time, one of our awesome sponsors here we need to call out, Rippy.
New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. That's SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. That's SEWCIOPATH.ca.
And the clock has been corrected. We are at the exact 1
Whoa,
minute mark
okay.
for this one. A whole, talking about being gone in 60 seconds. That's what we're going to be. Who's it going to be? Is it Casey McLean?
Casey McLean and Thea.
Oh my goodness. Who's it going to be? Who's going to come out here as the lead jam for this one?
You can feel both teams are just putting their whole force. Now we have blockers in the box, but one has been released, so Dublin has their. That is Casey McLean out as lead jammer for Boston. Everybody released from the box. I'm going to have to stand because everyone's standing in front of me. I don't blame them. It's exciting. I would stand too. Now, Thea also out of the pack. Casey McLean getting the motion from the bench to keep it going, trying to run down this clock.
And taking a nice big hit there by Pippa. The cycle back. Pack now still locked in going into turn 2. And that is Thea with a tippy toe.
Ooh, on the inside, 4 points there. So you'll watch Casey McLean checking out the bench, and at the 0 mark, Boston calls it. So that was very well done by the coaches there, the bench staff, managing that at the very end there.
And yep, we are at that unofficial score. We're going to wait for that big whistle. But like a big shout out to our awesome production team here as you are streaming us live here on Twitch on WFTA TV for day 1. Only day 1.
It's only day 1. We get to come back again tomorrow.
Seeing both these teams compete, and it has been great. And again, a shout out especially for this particular day, Saturday, being sponsored by the Derby Apex. Remember, training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Bookmark them at thederbyapex.com to stay up with the latest news from hashtag Derby Twitter and the Derby community.
New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. I can't say enough about Sociopath. That's SEWCIOPATH. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn to order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details.
And Rippy, we got that final score. Boston 192, Dublin 156. It was still a very tight
fabulous game.
Yeah, and we still are going to have interviews with our MVPs for both these teams. Take a quick guess on that. Also a shout out again to our awesome producer, Rosetta Stone.
Keeping us straight and also taking care of Camel Watch 2019.
So again, join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Naptown versus Boston. I am the Cat.
I am Rippy Longstocking.
And we will see you tomorrow morning.
Channel WFTDA, as in the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. And
Welcome back, WFTDA. This is the CAC here, being joined by the MVP winner of Dublin, Maniha. Now, let me ask you, Maniha, was there any favorite moments you had in this bout against Boston? It was a very close game you had.
It was a very good game, very physical. I think some of the best moments we had on track there was where we were out there performing us in training. We were dropping offense for our jammers and also keeping a solid defense in the back. All our skills are paying off now, so it's really good to be here.
And you guys did a fantastic job. And now, while you're over here in America, you're hung out for a few days here in Boston. So not only did you get to play their team, but you got to enjoy the city. Was there anything cool you did while you were here?
Oh yeah. Well, mostly the snow is amazing. We don't get that much out there, so I think we're enjoying here. Yeah, very much.
And now you're going to be going on to tomorrow, competing some more here. Are you? I could say how you're excited. You're definitely excited here.
Very much.
But is there anything you want to say to your friends and family back home in Ireland?
Thank you for the support, as usual, back home and in Ireland and in Argentina, of course.
Excellent. Now, once again, I'm joined by Maniha. This is the CAC, and we will see you tomorrow back here on Twitch.
Hi, I'm Rippy Longstocking, and I'm here with Agent Mulder, who just won MVP. Do you want to share your little MVP? For a fantastic game. So first of all, let me thank you for having us here and allowing us to play and have fun. And so
it's been a blast. Thank you guys for coming. This has been a long time coming, a long time in the making, and we're so thrilled to have everybody here and on our home turf playing.
I think you can be pretty proud of this tournament so far. It's been wonderful. So I have a couple of questions for you. The first question I have for you is, what did your team do out there that made you really proud today?
Our team executed the plays we've been practicing, which is always dicey in Derby, right? You get out there and you're like, oh, there's 4 people, what do we do? But we did a really good job of calling plays, executing them, keeping calm in the commotion and keeping the communication up, and just playing our game the way we know how to play.
It was a really spectacular game to watch. I really watched, especially a lot of defense out there. It was really wonderful. And what did you do today that you were particularly proud of?
I was proud of the defense that I played, and I kept it relatively clean, knock on wood. I only got 1 penalty, so that was really exciting. And I feel like I made a lot of good calls to help my pack be where we needed to be. So I always that's always a goal of mine. I'm glad I accomplished it.
And you got a little award for it too.
I got a little award for it. Shout out to Sweet Enemy for doing these. They're beautiful.
Right. So, again, thank you so much for having us here, and I will let you return to your team and have a great time. And thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you very much for hanging out with us all day long. Today was a long day of Derby. We're going to wrap things up here on the Twitch stream. Of course, the VODs will all be available. You guys can watch them and hang out and make clips and whatever and enjoy them. Even if you want to stay up later and watch more Derby, you can certainly do that. So we're going to wrap things up here. On behalf of WFTDA.TV and New England Roller Derby Report, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.